Welcome to the video R2, solving systems of linear equations and using the three kinds of strategies of elimination, substitution, or equal values and or graphing. So the key to this strategy is to identify which type of problem you have. So when you look at this target, you should notice that these two are both y equals, and when they're both y equals, then you would be using the equal values method. This kind is going to be equal values. This kind is going to be substitution because one of them is y equals, and I'm going to put it in for y and do the substitution method. And the last kind is none of them are y equals, so I'm going to do what's called elimination. So the key concept for one of this strategy is just make sure you understand which kind. If you have both of them y equals, you're going to take whatever this equation is and whatever this equation is, and you're going to set them equal to each other. You just start by doing that. Okay, that's called the equal values method. The other one is if one of them is y equals, and then the other one's going to be like, 3x plus 2y equals 82 or something like that. Whatever was in this equation, whatever that was, is going to go right there for y, and then you're going to have like parentheses and distributive property, and that's called substitution. And the last kind, if none of them are y equals, then you would have an equation like 3x plus 2y equals 82, and you might have 7x minus 10y equals 14. Then you're trying to get opposites stacked on top of each other. So in this scenario, if I had a positive 2y below a negative, this is a y by the way, so this is a positive 2y and a negative 10y, then I'd multiply this first equation by 5, because then I would have 15x, I would have positive 10y, and I would have a big number. And then these would eliminate when I added them going down, because I would have a positive 10 over a negative 10 once I multiplied that 5 all the way through. So let's take a look at this in action. So this first kind, what is it? Oh, it's both y equals. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to set it equal to that. So the strategy would simply be 4x minus 9 equals x minus 3. And then you just go to town on that kind of a question. Okay, meaning you use your solving strategies and you just go ahead and get that. So then I'd add 9, and then I would get 4x equals x plus 6. Then I would subtract x, and I'm going to get 3x equals 6. Then I'm going to divide by 3, and x equals 2. Now that's not the answer, so be careful. Alert, alert, be careful. Because just because you did all this work and got this answer doesn't mean it's over. Because the question has x's and y's in it, you have to have x's and y's in your answer. So you take the 2 and you put it in. 2 minus 3 is negative 1, so y equals negative 1. And in Algebra 2, we don't just have two random floating answers here. We show them as an ordered pair point. So your answer to this question should be 2 because the x comes first and the y comes second. It should be an ordered pair like that. And that is what solves the system, is that point of intersection for those two equations. And you get the x answer followed by the y answer. It should look like this when you're done, an ordered pair. This kind, what do you have? Well, to me it looks like you have none of them equal and y equals, so you're going to do elimination. So elimination is where you look to get opposites stacked on top of each other. With one simple move of me multiplying this one by 2, if I take 2 times this whole equation, then I would have a positive 2 over a negative 2, and those would eliminate. So I'm going to make this 2 times bigger. I'm going to make this 2 times bigger. I'm going to make this 2 times bigger. Okay? Now I'm going to add going down. I'm going to get 6x, and those are going to cancel, equals 36. Divide by 6, and x equals 6. Well, then I have to plug that back in and solve for y. So if I plug it in here, I'd have 4 times 6 is 24, plus 2y equals 10. I'd subtract 24, I'd have negative 14, and divided by 2, y equals negative 7. So again, my final answer would be 6 comma negative 7. If that was a little fast, you can rewatch that again, but that's the correct answer. Then the only other kind that you haven't seen is the kind that has this where one of them is y equals, and that's pretty straightforward. You just take that whole thing and put it in there. So you'd have negative 3x minus 2 times 5x minus 7 equals negative 12. Then you distribute a negative 2, and then you solve it. So you can finish that up on your own, but you should end up getting an x and y answer as well.